r/AskReddit, what's one of the dumbest things you've ever spent money on? Chef Boyardee beefaroni. One summer, because I was hella bored, I bought some Chef Boyardee beefaroni and put it in my friend's mailbox as a prank. He didn't find it but his parents did, and they asked their neighbors who did it. He suspected me at first, but I managed to get him off of my tail. Now our neighborhoods were fairly close to each other, so I could be over there in a 50-minute walk. Every night, I walked up to their neighborhood. Walking anywhere at 2:m is creepy as hell, but the Boyardee bandit does not stop for demons, and put a can of beefaroni inside their mailbox. After about a month, they call the police to find out who's putting beefaroni in their mailbox. Luckily the police really didn't care that much and just told them to get a camera, which they eventually did. Meanwhile my friend is telling me all of this from his perspective. Right. So I usually know what they do before I strike. So I start covering my face, and pretend to hunch over. I have no idea where this camera is, so I can never be too careful. They call the cops again and give them a profile, and now the cops are looking for a crippled beefaroni bandit. After a solid 3 months of this shit, one of the baggers at the store gets word somehow, and starts getting suspicious because he sees me buying tons of beefaroni. He confronts me, I tell him the truth, and I shit you not, he starts helping me beefaroni my friend's house. We're putting it all over, hiding it in the lawns, porch, fence, you name it. Halloween rolls around, and I dress up as Chef Boyardee. I go to my friend's house and say, your daily subscription to Chef Boyardee beefaroni has ended. Would you like to renew? I hear laughter in the background, and it's the store clerk. Turns out he recently started dating best friend's sister, and that's how he heard. Truth be told, I don't think I've ever been punched harder than when my friend found out. Good times. We still laugh about it from time to time. TLDR, bought and hid Chef Boyardee beefaroni for nearly half a year around my best friend's house. The beefaroni bandit strikes again. When I was like 14 I bought a pack of intentionally mismatched socks that were really expensive. Like, only one of each pattern. Could have bought twice as many normal socks and just mismatched them myself. When I went on a school field trip to Washington, D.C. back in middle school, I bought a $2 bill at a souvenir shop for $20. SMH. I was drunk and bought Monster Ballads off an infomercial. And I paid an extra $20 for rush delivery, because I was drunk and needed it ASAP. And it showed up a month later. I was just a few weeks out of basic training and bought one of those family lineage with the shields on it and description. I blew $500 or so bucks just to find out it wasn't even accurate. I spent $40 one of those amusement park booths where you had to throw darts at balloons. For some reason, I picked out this really ugly 7 feet tall frog stuffed animal. It's in the corner of my closet and still scares me when I'm half awake in the morning. I once went to a novelty/thrift shop that had a ton of random shit. Ended up spending $10 on a framed picture of Count Dooku, Darth Sidious and Jango Fett from Star Wars since my GF thought it was funny. The frame recently broke and I found out after seeing the back of the picture it was from a calendar when Attack of the Clones came out. Someone just cut this picture out of an old calendar, put it in a frame, and my dumbass voluntarily spent $10 on it. I'd had a few drinks, TGIF, and wandered into a Williams-Sonoma store in a state of euphoria. There I saw a special edition KitchenAid stand mixer made in bronze that was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. It was on sale for $999. Naturally, I bought it, but because I'm a single guy who doesn't bake, it's just taking up much needed counter space. The blanket that makes you look like a giant burrito. It was super thin and of poor quality, not to mention not big enough to cover me. Now I'll never look like a burrito. There was this guy named Don Laper who sold money-making kits, like how to make money with classified ads. I think I invested about $350 and received literally nothing of value. I was younger and being stupid. Looked him up tonight to remember how to spell his name, but turns out he killed himself with a razor blade while in jail in 2011. I bought a pager. The clip snapped. I took it to where I bought it. We only cover the pager, not the case. I walked outside right in front of the window and spiked the shit out. 8F it. Walked back inside and said my pager is broken. I was pretty high one night and bought a pool net handle, one of the 16-foot metal ones, in order to turn off the living room lights from the couch. Edit, added these as a comment but it got buried. Sorry, I've been sleeping, haha. I'll try and answer all the questions I've seen. Most importantly, it does work. It's heavy when fully extended, But there's a rail I can balance it on between me and the light. Takes a bit of practice. I also do remember thinking about getting smart lights, but honestly I'm renting this house and it's a wall switch, so I didn't want to take it apart to make it smart. For $25, I can't say I regret this one. It sits behind my couch in a little gap, so it's not too much of an eyesore. I haven't broken anything yet. Emphasis on yet. I'm sure I will. No, I don't have a pool. Edit 3. I didn't buy smart bulbs. And won't in the future. Because it's 10 bulbs on racks. Cheap. Easy. And I was high. Edit. Thanks for the gold. Got drunk and started ordering ninja gear off of Amazon and forgot about it until it showed up like a week later. Swords, nunchucks, a suit and mask. Most expensive dumb thing? A Mercedes 500 SL. Literally bankrupt myself buying parts and gas for that fucking land yacht. Sold it for half what I paid and felt lucky to be rid of it. Dumbest dumb thing? A metallic gold-laden painting of a Pontiac Firebird. It oozes white trash and I had planned on putting it in a family gift exchange as a joke, but didn't end up going and got stuck with it. It's currently hanging in a storage room, like all classy paintings do. When I was 19, I got a construction job that paid fairly well. Stupid me got all hot and horny for a fun car. I signed up for a 5-year loan after test driving the first one. I ended up having engine failure almost 2 years later. Because it was a used car and from a shady used car dealer, the warranty was well expired. I couldn't afford to get a new engine for it, so I ended paying over 3 years for a car that I wasn't driving. Edit. Since I've been getting messages and replies saying it's your fault, you didn't maintain the car. That car was my baby. I worked on it every day and loved it for the short period of time I had it. Now, this car had what is called a Wankel rotary. These are not reliable engines. The apex seals blow as they are basically as thick and durable as the graphite in a pencil. Mazda RX-8s are notoriously unreliable. I did not know this 8 years ago as I hadn't done much research. The more you know. If you want to prove how tough you are, this is not the place. I do not care. I had fun with my car, and learned a lot from the experience. And if you think this is the dumbest thing I have ever done, you're very wrong. Edit 2. Thank you for the gold, kind stranger. I wish I could turn it into money to soften the financial blow of this vehicle. But alas, Reddit Premium is a close second. Big wedding, all that money, could have helped so many problems we had later. Divorced anyway. This past Christmas Eve I was doing some last-minute shopping and came across a wine glass shaped like Buddy from the movie Elf, which of course also had Will Ferrell's face on it. With everything kinda being out of order with the holiday rush, I didn't know how much it cost. But I bought it on pure impulse because I thought it was funny. It wasn't until I left the store and looked at the receipt did I realize that it cost $22, which is way more than it's worth. To remind me of my mistake, I now drink out of that glass exclusively and have been for the past 5 months. I have to wash it like twice a day, but I won't stop using it until I feel like I've gotten my $22 worth. I bought a cat eye stencil off Amazon that's supposed to help with liquid eyeliner application. Because my hands are shaky as fuck. Didn't check the reviews. It's a crappy piece of plastic shaped like a cat that breaks really easy, apparently. I wouldn't know. I bought it a week ago drunk and it's shipping from China with an estimated arrival of July 27th. Edit. Literally saved every bit of advice for my attempts tomorrow. Thanks all. A Himalayan salt lamp. Useless, but aesthetically pleasing. Got that inflatable dinosaur costume. Wore it once around my campus and now I forgot where it is. My friends and I randomly decided to get into paintballing one year. My first visit to a paintball shop, I apparently felt like flexing my brand new I have a job and no bills because I live with my parents' income. So I dropped about $400 on a paintball gun that looked like an AK-47, the way a Nerf pistol looks like a Glock. We did a few practice fights with each other, then went to a paintball field that weekend. The bell rang, the fight started, I ran out, aimed at a guy, gun jammed, and I got shot in the head. Just above the part my mask was covering. That gun never fired again and I ended up replacing it with a cheap Tipman 98 Custom, which as far as I understand is the vanilla sherbet of paintball guns. It worked. But we stopped paintballing forever after like 2 months. So I guess the second gun was also one of the dumbest things I spent money on. I bought my oldest a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. Gifts for my mother. She complains every single time. My quarantine shopping recently led to me purchasing a manatees-shaped tea infuser. Boxes. I never save them and toss them in recycling. Well, moving time came around and I was in need of many boxes, so I spent more money than I would like to admit of cardboard and bubble wrap. $10 plus delivery fee for a $6.08 meal. A tiny alarm clock, smaller than my hand. It actually functions pretty well though, so it's a good travel alarm, as long people don't get suspicious about the ticking noise coming from your bag. Also a great way to hide the sound of the bomb inside your bag.